Hello viewers, so welcome to my YouTube channel. In this episode today, I would like to talk about this controversial issue about international students. Why international students are leaving Canada in drones, in high figure. I mean, they do not find Canada as a fortress for them anymore after they are done studying. It's not just limited to international students only, also temporary foreign workers. They leave Canada in drones, even permanent residents. They leave Canada now just because Canada is becoming something that they never thought it was. So that is what I'll be dissecting in this episode today. I need you to hang on tight, stay tuned, and likewise I would like to also hear your own opinion too as regards to the reason for this and what can be done about it. Okay viewers, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I still remember my humble self, MC Bernardino. This is Canada Reality, where I dish out content for those that are already in Canada and those that have aspiration of migrating to Canada. Is this your first time on this YouTube channel? Please do me the honor, hit on the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell so that anytime I drop a video, you always be among the first to get it. For our returning viewers, kudos to you. Thank you very much. Alright, so let's get to the nitty-gritty of why so many international students, temporary residents older in Canada, are leaving Canada after they are done studying, after they have gotten their work. What are the reasons for this? And what are the solutions that are in sight? Alright, the number one reason based on my research would be because of the tight and stricter immigration policy that are being promulgated by governments of Canada. Now, I mean, in the last 2 or 3 years, it has not been palatable for international students. There are so many draconian laws that have been put in place now for internationals. Initially they started with a cap, 2 years cap on international students, reducing the postgraduate work permit eligibility for spouse of international students that attend college, and so many other policies that are not so supportive for international students, reducing the number of hours they can work. So these and many more are the things that are actually deterring these international students, because the moment they are done studying, they see that there's no hope on how they can get their postgraduate work permit, how they can integrate into the system. And instead of them becoming an illegal resident in Canada, some of them just look at it and feel, okay, why not just go back to my own country? Probably I feel I can do better, or I was doing better before I came into Canada. Why not just go back to my own country where I feel that there are better opportunities for me there? And at the end of the day, when they look at it and they feel, I mean, the best option for them will be to go back. So that is one. And I mean, I know so many international students that have returned back to their own country because after they are done studying, or after they are done with their postgraduate work permit, 1 year or 3 years as the case is, they could not still amass the needed points for them to apply for their PR. And as a result of that, instead of just remaining in Canada as an illegal immigrant, which probably will impair their application in the future, they rather just go out of the country and probably continue to apply from outside, because that's what some of immigration lawyers, some immigration consultants will tell you. If you're in that situation, they'll rather tell you to just leave and start shooting your shot from outside Canada than remain illegally in Canada and shooting your shot, because that will probably impair your application when it's time for you to apply. Another very substantial reason why people are leaving will be the high cost of living. The high cost of living post-COVID is so alarming in Canada globally, not just in Canada alone, but globally. So people in Canada, they are complaining so much, especially for these international students that their hours of work has been reduced to 20 hours while they are actively studying, and also some of them could not even get the support they used to get from back home because of the global economy. So the high cost of living is so deterring that some of these international students, they cannot cope. Some of these temporary workers, they cannot cope. And also when you look at housing, apart from feeding, housing is also on the high rate. I mean, huge rent, huge cost of renting a property. I mean, presently in Canada, according to Canada Mortgage and Housing Corporation, there's a huge deficit of 3.5 million of housing that needs to be built before 2030 in order for the housing needs to be balanced. Other than that, there's a big deficiency. So these are lots more are what are deterring people. The cost of living, people cannot even, they can barely feed because of what they earn is not commensurate to what they spend. So when some of these people, temporary residents older, when they see this, they compare it, they'll feel, probably some of them feel it's better for me to just go back home, where I feel that I can still manage myself based on what I used to do in the past, based on family and friend support. I can still cope when I go back home than to remain in Canada and continue to suffer. I mean, we've seen some video in the past of some immigrants sleeping on the streets because they could not afford accommodation, because they could not eat. So they would rather just sleep on the streets, sleep on the bridge, sleep in public places. So this is actually on the this is not actually a palatable news. And when some of these immigrants, when they look at this, they feel, why not just go back home and become a king than to just continue to be a slave in Canada? Next one reason why people are leaving, international students are leaving Canada, will be lack of job. I mean, this cannot be overemphasized. There's no job. Even for the permanent resident, for the citizen in Canada, there's no job. I mean, recently Oxen Bay that has been in existence, it employed numerous people. They've just announced recently that they are closing all their stores in Canada, and they're probably going to leave out almost 8,000 employees without a job.
Well, Canada's oldest retailer, Hudson's Bay, is closing all of its stores today. Now, following the completion of its liquidation sale, more than 8,000 workers will officially be out of jobs. And according to court documents, another 900 will stay on but be let go in mid-June. Canadian Tire announcing it will buy the Bay's intellectual property for $30 million. And Hudson's Bay has also agreed to sell 28 of its store leases to BC mall owner Ruby Liu.
So, I mean, talk more of a international student that only what they have is just their postgraduate work permit. They have 3 years postgraduate work permit. So some of them, once they are done studying, they can hardly, in 3 years, within the 3 years postgraduate work permit that they have, they can barely hold a job for 6 months. Some of them, they are lucky to get a job. After some few months, they lose the job. And some of them, they cannot even get a job that can actually give them the permanent residence that they require. So these are lots of issues. Is so discouraging that when some of these students, when they look at it back and forth, they will rather just go back home because they cannot get a job. Talk more of feeding themselves, talk more of getting an accommodation for themselves. And when they look at it, they rather, some of them probably because they are rich kids or because they have a good job or because they've got some support back home, they rather just leave everything here and just go back home. Because to be sincere with you, in Canada now, the jobs, I mean, I won't say that there are so many jobs. There are no jobs. Well, for the fact that I said there are no jobs doesn't mean that people are not working in Canada. But also, there are so many people that are complaining of lack of jobs, losing their jobs. So this is another factor that is actually deterring people, that is actually discouraging international student, temporary resident worker from remaining in Canada and rather just leaving Canada and going to seek greener pasture outside of Canada. Another substantial reason why so many international students are leaving Canada is that they are seeking alternatives in other countries. Some of them feel that if they go to the United Kingdom, they feel that there's a better luck there, or they go to the United States, or they go to European countries, or they go to Australia. Right, because they have friends there that are in those countries that are doing well. They feel that, okay, why not just leave Canada and just go to those countries and go start afresh, and probably because they feel their support system there. So those are the reasons why some people actually just feel leaving Canada will be the best option for them. And also, in addition to this, I can tell you of the truth that based on information that I get from people that are outside Canada, it is not also greener on the other side too. Because I know for UK too, the last time I was in UK a few months ago, people are also complaining there bitterly. I mean, international students, temporary residents in the UK, they are also complaining that there's a huge cost that is involved for them in order for them to become a permanent resident in the United Kingdom. They drain them so much, they collect so much money from them. So this is just me trying to say that it's not just Canada alone that is affected by this. United Kingdom, which I'm acquainted with because I have a lot of friends and family there, they are likewise complaining too. But you know, people do not really want to know until when they experience it. That's when they can ascertain that is the situation in other places too. So that is why some international students are leaving Canada and rather seeking greener pastures in those countries because they want to experience something new. They feel that when they go there, they can actually settle down better, or they feel that things will be better for them as compared to just staying in Canada and continue to face the challenges. Okay, viewers, let me know what you feel in the comment section. I mean, these are based on the research that I've done. These are some of the factors that I think are deterring people from staying in Canada, rather seeking better alternatives outside Canada. If you feel there are some things that are left out that are very important that you think are some of the reasons why people are leaving Canada, please feel free to drop it in the comment section. I mean, I love to read those comments. Please endeavor to like this video, share this video, and if you haven't subscribed, subscribe to this YouTube channel. Till I come back to you again with another episode. Stay out of trouble. Canada Reality. I still remain my humble self, MC Bernardino. Peace out.